Have you ever stood in front of that mirror, not just glanced, not just passed by, but stared long enough to see past your skin and into the version of you that's dying behind your eyes, the one who remembers every promise you made to yourself in silence, the quiet vows, the midnight decisions? I'll fix it tomorrow. I'll stop this nonsense. I'll become him. And yet, here you are again, pretending that today wasn't another betrayal, another scar on the soul, another moment where the man in the mirror looked at you with shame instead of pride. Discipline is not aesthetic. It's not romantic. It doesn't live in Instagram reels or dopamine-fueled motivational edits. It lives in the dark, where no one claps, where no one records you grinding, where no one gives you credit. It's not about the 5 a.m. club or a perfect routine. It's about whether you keep your own word when your flesh is begging you to fold. It's about that moment. Yes, this one, where you feel the weight of doing the hard thing while no one's watching, and everything inside of you is screaming, quit. The Stoics didn't build power from preaching. They built it from bleeding in silence. They didn't talk about being strong. They walked through hell with sealed lips and steady hands. Marcus Aurelius didn't beg the universe to give him strength. He became it. He whispered to himself, just do the right thing. The rest doesn't matter. And the right thing, it's never the loud one. It's never the easy one. It's the lonely one, the brutal one, the one that makes your bones hurt, your soul ache, and your ego scream for mercy. There's a monster living in your comfort. Every "I'll do it later," every skipped morning, every lazy excuse. That's not self-care. That's self-sabotage dressed in soft words. You are not tired. You are not figuring it out. You are betraying your higher self and numbing the regret with lies you think sound reasonable. But here's the unfiltered truth. No one is coming to save you. Not your friends, not your family, not your goddamn phone. You'll die with the same potential you were born with, unless you decide to drag your dreams out of the dirt and fight for them like they owe you a life. The people you're worried about impressing, they don't lose sleep over your failure. But you do. Every night. Quietly. You feel the decay setting in, the rot of unused greatness. And that's why this war is personal. This isn't about being productive. This is about reclaiming the fire you buried under fake smiles, cheap dopamine, and endless scrolling. This is about going to war against the version of you that surrendered when life punched first. Force yourself, not because you feel like it, but because your bloodline demands it. Because the grave is already hungry for your body. Don't feed it your potential too. Because every time you let weakness win, you dig your future a little deeper into the dirt. This is life or death. Not the death of your body, but the death of your purpose, the death of your name, the death of that unshakable version of you that was born for something feral, something fearless, something immortal. This isn't motivational fluff. This is a resurrection message. This is a funeral for your excuses. This is the wake-up call your soul has been begging you to hear for years. The Stoics didn't live soft. They didn't fold when emotions screamed. They obeyed logic. They kneeled before reason. They refused to bow to weakness. And now, it's your turn. You either become disciplined or you become haunted. Because if you don't force discipline into your bloodstream, life will force regret into your bones. And that kind of pain, it doesn't just sting. It etches itself into your identity. It follows you. It rewrites your story. It turns you into someone you swore you'd never be. So here's your first act of defiance. Type this in the comments. I am stronger than my resistance. Let your fingers scream it before your mind hesitates. And if this message split your chest open, like it did mine, then make sure you like, subscribe, and share this with the one friend you love enough to scare straight, because this video might be the only thing standing between your potential and your permanent surrender. Now, let's get into it. Number 1. Stop trusting your emotions to lead you. They lied to you. They spoon-fed you this poisonous fairy tale. Just follow your heart, as if your heart was some divine compass that always knows the way. But here's what they didn't tell you. Your heart is a reckless beast. It craves comfort. It's addicted to shortcuts. It doesn't care if your future burns, as long as the present feels warm. You think your heart wants growth. No, it wants ease. It wants to sleep in, skip the gym, and scroll through life like it's a highlight reel. And if you build your life based on emotions, you'll wake up one day in ruins, confused, weak, and bitter, wondering why everything collapsed while you were busy feeling your way through life. Discipline doesn't come when you're motivated. Discipline is born in war. When you silence that pathetic voice in your head begging you to rest. You said you'd train after work, remember? But the moment fatigue whispered, you surrendered. You planned to eat clean, to stay sharp, to rebuild, but stress came knocking and you let the enemy inside. Just one bite, it said. You deserve a break, it said, and you believed it. Again, just like you always do. And the cycle resets. You fall, you bleed, and you pretend you don't know why. But deep down, you do. You trusted emotions that have stabbed you in the back more times than you can count. Seneca wasn't talking about some external war when he said, "No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity." Sometimes the battlefield is inside your mind. The enemy wears your voice, mimics your tone, speaks like an old friend. It doesn't scream, it whispers. Take it easy. Do it tomorrow. No one will know. And if you don't learn to recognize that soft lie as a dagger, you will never rise. You will rot. Quietly, comfortably, and you'll call it peace. Your emotions are like the weather, unpredictable, unstable, and never to be trusted. Storms will come, winds will howl, but if you only show up when the sky is blue, your legacy will drown in the rain. The Stoics didn't wait for sunshine. They marched into the storm with blood in their eyes and purpose in their spine. They didn't care how they felt. They only cared what needed to be done. That's your new standard. Act even when you're empty. Move even when you're broken. Get up when your soul is screaming to lie down. Because greatness doesn't care about your mood swings. The world doesn't stop spinning just because you're not in the right headspace. The mission doesn't pause. Life doesn't hand out trophies to the emotional. It rewards the relentless. So stop waiting for permission. Stop begging your feelings to agree. Command yourself. Move without emotion. Strike with cold precision. This is the new law. You do it anyway. Tired? You do it anyway. Unmotivated? You do it anyway. Because your future is forged in those exact moments when your emotions beg you to stop, and you go on anyway. That's not just discipline. That's power. That's how empires are built. That's how men become legends. Number 2, kill the later voice in your head. Later is not gentle. It only pretends to be. It shows up wrapped in soft blankets, whispering lullabies in your exhausted mind. You've done enough, it says. You've had a long day. You can start fresh tomorrow. But behind that velvet voice is a blade, and every time you listen to it, it carves a piece out of your future and buries it in a shallow grave called regret. That's the truth. Later is not your friend. It's the silent assassin of dreams. It doesn't kick down the door. It leaves it open while you sleep, and by the time you wake, everything worth fighting for has burned to ash. You know that voice. You've heard it at war with your ambition, when the alarm goes off and your bones ache, when your mind tells you to rebuild, to get your life together, to make the hard call, and then it whispers, just give it time. But time doesn't wait for people who hesitate, and that voice, that soft echo inside your head, doesn't care if you lose everything. It just wants you to sit down, shut up, and postpone your power, over and over again, until you forget what fire ever felt like. It doesn't scream, it seduces. It calls itself self-care, but it's really self-destruction in disguise. That voice will hold your hand while your purpose dies in silence. And if you don't slaughter it with urgency, it will turn you into a man who talks about someday while watching his life rust into nothing. Epictetus threw down a challenge when he asked, "How long are you going to wait before you demand the best for yourself?" That question should haunt you like a shadow at midnight, because the harsh truth. If you keep giving in to later, you won't recognize yourself in 5 years. Just guilt wearing your old clothes, a man with heavy eyes and a haunted heart, a man who let greatness slip through his fingers because he was always almost ready. The problem was never time. You had the time. You always had the time. The problem was those quiet deals you made with laziness, those invisible contracts signed in sighs and silence. Just a little break. I'll do it after lunch. No, every one of those was a betrayal, a vote for weakness. And weakness is a vulture. It circles your goals, and it never forgets when you gave up. Visualize this. Your potential is a burning house. Inside it, your passion, your dreams, your calling. Every second you hesitate, the flames rise. Every time you say later, the fire spreads. And while you sit on the couch convincing yourself that it's not the right moment, that blaze is swallowing your future whole, until there's nothing left but smoke and silence. So you must kill that voice, not tame it, not negotiate with it. Kill it. Rip it out of your mind like it owes you blood. Replace it with immediacy, so aggressive, so raw, that even hesitation flinches when it's time to act, move, not when it feels right, not when the stars align. Now, because hesitation is the luxury of the weak, and the weak don't get to taste greatness. Every time you act without delay, you tear your power back from the jaws of doubt. You remind the universe that you are not a puppet of your emotions. You are a force, a commander. And nothing has more authority over your life than you. Not your fear, not your fatigue, not your damn excuses. This is the oath now. Later is dead. We move now. We move while tired. We move while afraid. We move through the fire. Because warriors don't wait for the perfect time. They make it. Write it like a war cry. Burn it into your bones. Later is dead. I move now. Number 3. Build systems that work when you're broken. Discipline on a good day. That's easy. When your blood is boiling with purpose, when your mind is clear, when the world feels like it's finally bending to your will. Discipline feels like a friend, a natural rhythm, a dance you can't lose. But that's not real discipline. Real discipline is the cold steel in your hand when the storm rages inside you. When your heart is shattered, your soul is bruised, and your mind is a war zone. That's when most people snap, not because they lack strength, but because they built their kingdom on quicksand, on fleeting feelings, on motivation's fragile flame. When that flame dies, everything collapses. If your discipline only shows up when life's easy, you're fooling yourself. You're not disciplined. You're addicted to convenience. You're a slave to your comfort zones, a prisoner of your moods. That's not strength. That's weakness hiding behind excuses. True power is forged in the furnace of your worst days. That's when your systems must carry you, not your willpower, not your passion, not your energy, because those will betray you when you need them most. You must build a fortress of habits so unshakable, so automatic, that even when your mind screams for surrender, your body still moves forward like a war machine. A Stoic doesn't wait for calm to act. Marcus Aurelius said it plainly. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Strength is not waiting for peace. It's preparing for chaos. It's setting traps for your excuses before they even take shape. It's armor made of routine and ritual, designed to crush hesitation before it even breathes. You must engineer your life like a battlefield. Leave your running shoes by the door like a loaded weapon. Write your to-do list the night before, a battle plan for the next day. Scatter your alarms across the room so you have to get up and fight for your day. Remove decision-making from your mornings, your meals, your workouts, because when you're weak, decisions become your enemy. Picture a soldier before battle. He doesn't sharpen his sword when the enemy is at the gates. He sharpens it the night before. He lays out his armor when the world is quiet. When the storm hits, his blade is ready, his body is ready, and he does not hesitate. When your spirit is broken, your heart is heavy, and your mind is a battlefield, you will not climb out by sheer willpower. You'll rise on the scaffolding of the systems you built when you were strong. Build those now. Build them for the days when breathing feels like climbing a mountain, because those days are not a question of if, they are a matter of when. Your future self is watching, waiting, begging you to build this foundation now. Force discipline into every corner of your life, into the way you sleep, into what you eat, into the way you use your phone, your calendar, your home. Seal every crack where laziness tries to seep in. Create an environment so ruthless, so exacting, that weakness cannot survive. That's how warriors are forged, not in moments of ease, but in the relentless grind of broken days, where only the system saves you. Number 4. Choose pain, now or suffer regret forever. Life is a battlefield with only two routes, the sharp, burning sting of pain now, or the cold, gnawing poison of regret forever. Neither is easy. Both leave scars. But one builds a warrior, the other buries a ghost. The pain of discipline is brutal, but it's honest. It wakes you up when your body screams for more sleep. It drags you out of your warm bed and throws you into the unforgiving cold dawn. It forces your muscles to ache, your lungs to burn, your mind to fight. That pain is raw, pure, and it carves steel into your bones. It builds a backbone where there was none. It earns you respect, not from others, but from yourself. It's the pain that demands your greatness. Regret? Regret is a silent killer. It creeps into your nights like a shadow, whispering in the quiet moments when all that's left is a hollow ache in your chest. Regret shows up when the opportunity has slammed its door shut, when the chance you should have seized has vanished like smoke, when the love you let slip away is nothing but a ghost you can't hold. It's the pain of 1,000 what-ifs echoing endlessly through your soul. That pain corrodes, it haunts, and it never lets you rest. Most people fall for the cruelest lie of all, the lie that comfort equals safety. They choose soft pillows over burning ambition, naps over grind, excuses over execution. But comfort is a slow death sentence. It doesn't snap your spine all at once. It breaks you bone by bone, day by day, until the man staring back in the mirror is a stranger, a shadow, a hollow shell of what he could have been. Seneca's words slice through this lie. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. Every moment you run from the hard road, every choice to skip the pain is a moment stolen from your own legacy. You're not just losing time, you're losing yourself. Talk to anyone who's watched their dreams dissolve or felt the sting of missed chances. They'll tell you the same desperate truth. I wish I had fought harder when I still could. That fire, that hunger, that moment is right now. The fork in the road is here, and it's ruthless. The easy path? It will lull you into decay, cradling you softly as you rot from the inside out. The hard path? It will tear you apart. It will bleed you dry. It will force your hands to blister and your heart to scream. But from that wreckage, it will forge something terrifyingly alive, something unbreakable, something real. Pain is inevitable, but pain with purpose is a gift. Pain that scars you but also crowns you king. Regret is a curse, a bottomless pit where hope goes to die, a relentless echo of everything you didn't dare to fight for. You don't get to avoid pain, but you get to choose which pain will own your story. Choose the pain that rips you open and builds you stronger. Choose the pain that shapes your legend and fills your chest with pride. Choose the pain that leaves nothing undone when your final breath escapes. Choose pain now, or be chained to regret forever. Number 5. Win the battle before it begins. By the time your alarm shatters the silence, the battle is already raging. The war for your day has started without mercy, and if your mind wasn't already armored the night before, if you didn't forge an unbreakable vow to conquer before sleep claimed you, then you're showing up to the fight, naked, defenseless, and already one step behind. Discipline doesn't just appear like lightning in a bottle the moment you need it. It is crafted long before the dawn. It's hammered out in the quiet moments when your eyes close and your mind races. It's in the ruthless self-command you impose on your inner dialogue, the invisible rituals you repeat in solitude when no one is watching. These moments, these choices unseen by the world, determine whether you'll rise like a war god or fall like a broken soldier. Before your feet even touch the ground, before the world throws its first punch, the Stoic trains his mind like a lethal weapon. He doesn't cross his fingers hoping for mercy or wish the day will treat him kindly. He commands the battlefield of his mind, bending it to his will. Marcus Aurelius ripped through the illusion of control when he said, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it." The war is not outside, it's inside. It's not the chaos of the world, but your own response to that chaos. And that internal war, that invisible, brutal struggle, is won or lost before the first arrow flies. You must become a master of preemptive strike. Visualize the storm before it breaks. Walk through the gauntlet of your day in your mind, seeing every trap, every distraction, every scream of weakness ready to pull you under. Expect the resistance. Expect the betrayals from your own flesh and blood, your tired limbs, your screaming doubts, your lying comfort. And then, long before those attacks arrive, prepare your counters. Decide how you'll hold the line. Cement your stance so deep that when life comes swinging, you don't flinch, you don't bend, you stand unyielding, a fortress of unshakable will. Champions aren't born from random chance or bursts of temporary fury. They are engineered through preparation, rigorous, brutal, unrelenting preparation. A disciplined life is not a game of luck. It is a blueprint written in sweat and fire, executed with surgical precision before the sun ever rises. Walk into every morning like a warrior stepping onto a battlefield, already knowing your enemy's next move, already primed to crush it before it lands. Because when your mindset is forged in the dark hours of night, no surprise, no setback, no temptation can shatter you. Win the battle in your mind first. Win the war before it's even begun. Discipline isn't about muscle in the moment. It's about building a soul that cannot be broken, a mind that will not surrender before the fight even starts. Don't gamble with your day. Don't rise hoping to feel ready or strong. Decide your victory before you close your eyes at night. Declare it with the fury of 1,000 storms. Live it with the intensity of a warrior who knows this day, this moment, is everything. Win before you begin. You don't need more motivation. That's a lie the world feeds you to keep you stuck. What you need, what your soul is screaming for, is a decision, not some half-hearted promise or whispered hope. A volcanic, unrelenting decision to incinerate every excuse that crawls up in your mind like a parasite. To stare down the grinding, crushing pain of growth and laugh in its face. To rise again and again, like a relentless storm that refuses to break, no matter how many times life shatters you into pieces. Discipline isn't a gift handed out by fate or genetics. It's a savage fire you ignite in the darkest trenches of your own will every damn day. Through the storm's howl, through the searing ache of heartbreak, through the deafening silence when no one's watching and everything inside screams to quit. You don't find discipline, you forge it. You either master your mind with iron fists, or you let it master you like a prisoner chained to your own weakness. If this pierced your core, if you felt like these words clawed their way out of your own war-torn soul, then don't let it fade. Shout your affirmation into the void below. Share this with someone who's slipping, drowning in doubt and surrender. Subscribe, because this is more than content. It's a call to arms. The war isn't a distant battle. It's a relentless, grinding war fought in the trenches of every single day. And winning? You win it with deliberate fury. You win it with savage, unyielding intent. So rise, win, burn it all down, and build yourself anew.